Hello there internet, it's Mogwai here, and I got another video for you guys today, and today we're going to play some Esper Control. I failed you, I know. I was supposed to bring the dankness every day, and today I'm playing one of the most hated decks in Standard. Why am I doing this? Well, I like Esper Control. First of all, I like playing Esper Control. I like tryharding it with it every now and then, and I do like ranking up with it as a deck. And two, I think it's very important to understand how this deck works. If you don't want to play yourself, at least to understand how to beat it. Because believe me, Esper Control is going to be one of the top tier, if not the top tier king itself in Standard Magic the Gathering. Because War of the Spark introduced quite a few new toys that enhance the power of this deck. And perhaps as an archetype, I'd say is one of the most gifted with War of the Spark. And that's kind of it's a crazy statement to make because, you know, a lot of archetypes got really cool tools, but Esper got so many good cards. And I'm going to show you guys my own personal take at the archetype because there's actually several different ways to build Esper Control. Now, I took no other deck as a reference for this. This is my own approach at Esper Control. This is how I believe the archetype works best, at least for the way I play it. And I'm very, very happy with this deck list. I utilized it in yesterday's stream, and we had a very high win rate with it in Mythic rank. So I'm going to be talking quite a bit about the main board, and also going to be going on quite the rant in regards to the sideboard, because I put a lot of thought into it, and I think this sideboard is pretty damn legit. So first of all, Esper Control, in case you're new watching Magic the Gathering. What is this? Why is it so hated? Because it's a control deck. It's a slow deck. It reacts to what your opponent is doing. It removes their units. It disrupts their gameplay, and takes a slow approach at winning, and basically tries to do so via sheer value. And the main culprit of this is Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, everybody's Planeswalker. And I meant to add in a favorite before saying Planeswalker. Everybody's favorite Planeswalker. There we go. There, the narration. Yeah, Teferi is perhaps the most broken Planeswalker. You know, War of the Spark gave us like 36 new Planeswalkers. There's still no Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. He is in a league of his own, and we are running 3 copies of him in this deck instead of 4 because we are also running Liliana Dreadhorde General. So generally speaking, Esper Control kind of like lacks a solid win condition. They just kind of like don't beat you by taking you down your life points. They just outvalue you by a huge margin, and then go for the ultimate with Teferi and just completely shut you down because you can return lands as well with said effect, right? But with this deck, we do have a faster way of winning, and that is Liliana. Liliana is, in my opinion, an excellent addition to Esper Control, as it is a great follow-up play to Teferi on turn 6. After you play Teferi on turn 5, you can drop Liliana, and her ultimate is also game-winning and easier to achieve than Teferi's, while she also enables you to create creatures to actually threaten your opponent's life points as well, because you may run into some matchups in which they try to mill you. Like, Esper Control is also more vulnerable now than it was before. Like, there's this new Planeswalker that mills the top 4 cards of your deck, and there's certain counters to the archetype. So being able to close out the game quicker is, I think, a very good trait for this sort of strategy to have. And Liliana, people think she's only limited to, or should only be played in creature-based decks, and that is an incorrect statement, or you know, thought in general, because Liliana doesn't need to be in a creature-based deck to just be absolutely amazing. Carnage Tyrant, a joke to Liliana. -4, you know, who cares? Who needs to target hexproof creatures when you can just have a very powerful AoE sort of effect to deal with your opponent's board state? And just a fantastic Planeswalker that ends games quickly, is a huge threat, and also automatically plays around the likes of Eldritch Reborn on her own as well with her +1. So very powerful. Perhaps alongside the likes of Nicol Bolas and Sorin, she is definitely in my top 3 favorite Planeswalkers, and I will be incorporating her to a lot of deck lists, honestly. Like, pretty much, you know, Rakdos, Dimir, Golgari, Orzhov, Sultai, Esper, Grixis, Abzan. She can fit anywhere, and she's just that good. So let's talk about the deck list, like the rest of the deck, right? So these are our 2 big bombs, right? And my phone is vibrating. Sorry about that. So how do we manage to get to that point, right? Well, that's what Esper Control does. We have early game removal in the forms of Moment of Craving and Tyrant Scorn, alongside AoE effects with Cry of the Carnarium and Kaya's Wrath. 3 copies of Mortify to deal with not only creatures but enchantments. If you ask me why is Esper Control the most prevalent form of control, is because of these 2 cards right here. Mortify and Kaya's Wrath are just as good as ever, and they are a a must-have for this sort of archetype, and like I said, one of the reasons to play Esper Control to begin with. We have counter spells and Absorb, Vraska's Contempt for potential Planeswalker removal as well, a one-off of Eldritch Reborn, which I like for opposing control matchups, 2 of Sorcerer's Canta, because this card is absolutely busted, and what seems to be a pretty standard Esper Control lineup if you take a look at it. But we have certain key cards that are rather interesting. We have a one-off of Dovin's Veto, or as I like to call it, Danny DeVito, which is obviously very good for control matchups. 2 of Tyrant's Scorn instead of Cast Down, which may seem weird, but this card is just really powerful. And there's quite a bit of a rise in regards to like legendary creatures running around. And this card is actually, unlike Cast Down, not a dead card against them, which is why I opted to run it. Despite the fact that I may not be able to target key 4 drops like Hostage Taker, but if you look at my lineup, Hostage Taker doesn't really do anything to me anyways. So I like Tyrant Scorn over Cast Down in this particular build. And as you can see, I am main decking 1 Narset Part of Veils, because the more I play with this card and the more I see it, the more I like it. This card is bonkers, man. This card is nuts. This card is going to define the metagame in a great way. It counters single-handedly any sort of like reclamation deck, and especially Simic, you know, with Nexus. And on top of that, she is just amazing in the control mirror and is not really a dead draw in other matchups, because, for example, if you're facing aggro decks and such, you can actually use her to fish for, you know, your Cry the Carnariums or your Moment of Cravings, your key removal cards that you're missing, right? Like, she's always a solid play. I don't run more copies of her because she can be a bit of a liability if you have multiple copies of her in, you know, versus like aggro or mid-range matchups. More so aggro, because she is hard to protect, especially so early on. But I may even change that. Like, at first I thought you would never main deck her, and I was like quite against that. But the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. And obviously I am running 2 more of her in the sideboard, because she's bonkers. Like, Narset is just absolutely bonkers and really helps out our strategy and helps out punish. If you want to have like tools to beat Esper Control, she is definitely, if you're playing blue, definitely take a look at her, because she is one of your best tools for sure. Let's take a look at the sideboard, shall we? We have 2 Dresses, 1 Deceitful Stroke, 1 Moment of Craving, 1 Elder Spell, 2 Dovin's Veto, or I'm just going to call it Danny DeVito. I just love calling this Danny DeVito. 2 Danny DeVitos, 1 The Spark, 2 Narsets, 2 Teferis, 1 Kaya's Wrath, and 2 Hostage Takers. So we have a little bit of everything here. I put a lot of thought into the sideboard because it's difficult to actually make this sideboard be able to tackle everything, because we want to add in way too many cards into this 15, you know, slot, and it's hard to really make the right call in that sense. It's still a work in progress, but I definitely do fall behind Narset and Teferi. I think these 2 are extremely prevalent against control matchups and definitely pull their own weight. The extra Kaya's Wrath comes a long way. Sometimes I think about adding Cry the Carnarium instead, but generally, the vast majority of matchups, I want to have the 4th Kaya's Wrath instead of the 3rd Cry the Carnarium. 2 Hostage Takers for mid-range matchups specifically. Also mono white aggro as well, potentially. The Spark, pretty flexible card as well, which I could run as more of, but I also really like the Elder Spell. The Elder Spell I thought was going to be too specific, too situational, and just not really good, even as a sideboard card, and holy crap was I wrong, because a lot of people are playing cheap Planeswalkers, and that can be a problem for us, because we have a lot of creature removal, but barring Vraska's Contempt, we don't have many ways to interact with Planeswalkers ourselves, so having the likes of Elder Spell can be absolutely devastating for our opponent, especially if we have a Planeswalker of our own on the board. So I'm actually inclined to run more copies of this in the sideboard, and I think I will definitely end up doing so. As I said, this is a work in progress, but every card here is very important. Like the Deceitful Stroke, the one-off of Moment of Craving, these cards really come into play in obviously the respectful matchups. So it's hard to make room for it, but I'm gonna keep tweaking this, and I think I was definitely wrong in my initial assessment of this card. So that is the deck list right there. Pretty powerful deck if you're looking for a deck to climb up the ranks with efficiently, especially in best of 3. I highly encourage you to play Esper Control. A difficult deck potentially to pilot as well, and very rewarding when you make the right plays. I just overall enjoy this archetype. I played it before it was cool. Back when Jeskai was king, I was playing Esper Control, so I guess I'll use that as an excuse. But yeah, I think it's important to showcase it off and show why this deck is so powerful and why it works so well. And yeah, I'm going to have a bit of a try-hard session for you guys today, so hope you enjoy the game. Stay tuned for more daily MTG content. Leave a like. It helps out the channel, and my videos reach out in that. And thank you for all the support. The videos are blowing up quite a bit, and I've been getting a lot of subscribers recently. So for those of you who are new, welcome. Hope you enjoy. And stay tuned for more daily MTG content. And that's all I gotta say. Have a soul day. Enjoy the games. Yeah, I actually can't pay life. I need 2 life. Yeah. That was a tight series. The blue splash like actually won the game. Like it was that negate, man. If he didn't get that negate right there, oh my god, that was rough. I'm gonna preserve Tyrant Scorn for whether he could like play something like a Walgrowth Walker. Okay. I'm actually gonna use this on the Lanarel. I mean, it's pretty clear that I have an absorb going on here, but I want to be able to counter his plays. He may just still play into it. He shouldn't, but he will. Can't help himself. I'm gonna keep the absorb. Because if I draw into another land and he doesn't do anything because he doesn't want to play into another one, then I could always follow it up with a Thought Erasure. This Mana Screw is rough. I'm gonna counter that because he wants to target his own J-Lad Ranger, so he plays around Wrath that way. But unfortunately, it does not matter because he can just preserve one of these. And that really sucks. That actually really sucks that I drew into this. Like I'm missing out. I'm missing out on these comebacks always by a little bit of health. And I think it's because I made the mistake of not targeting the J-Lad Ranger. That's definitely on me. But we can still come back from this. Stroke. I want to try Narset in this matchup. I think Narset is pretty legit in this matchup potentially. That's a one-off maybe. You take out 6 cards though. That's a lot. I also want the Spark here. Oh no, I don't necessarily want the Spark. It's tough because I want a lot of things, but I really want to try Narset because Narset denies his Hydroid Crassus from drawing anything. Soul-Time Midrange is a tough matchup to like sideboard for, but I'm gonna go with this. I need to surveil for lands. I can't have that moment of craving. I have Kaya's Wrath anyways. I need lands. I need to make sure that I can curve out. Now we have Kaya's Wrath enabled. We do gotta time it properly. I'm gonna go for Wrath. I gotta prevent damage. And then I can follow this up with an Eldest Reborn to potentially steal his Vivian. I could play Liliana, but then he'll just be encouraged to play this. So I could just, I think I'm gonna hold on. I can afford to take damage here. So I think I'm gonna do that, and then play Liliana, and, yeah. Yeah, this is better.
Let's see if you can't stop nature.
Vivian doesn't really do much for me. It just kind of like only fishes lands, but my opponent doesn't really know that. I mean, it fishes for Hostage Taker as well, right?
Sometimes rest. Let's do this again.
Those are all his finds.
No one knows the wilds like I do.
I really want that Ross's Contempt to get rid of this Vivian.
Warrior Queen Necromancer has a nice ring to it. Rise! Servants, your corpse will volunteer. What a good, mindless minion. I'll find a use for you later.
Meet my newest friend.
Rise and shine. So that's how it is. Well, looks like you're on your own now. Putrid, but effective.
Balance comes.
Okay. That was a tight one. Alright, game 3. Okay, so he is playing that, so I do want to run the Spark for Vivian and for his Liliana. I'd like to add in Duress, but I think that's enough for that. Chemist's Insight I think is fine the way it is. Like, the first game I kind of got smorked, you know, which is what I want to avoid happening this time around. I really do want Narset here. Dovin's Veto is also fine as a one-off. I prefer one Dovin because now it's harder for me to counter because I'm on the draw. I think I need to get back to 3 Teferis though. I need to be able to have that late game power. Drop that one Mortify. And 1 Moment of Craving. I'm gonna go ahead and go with this. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and keep. We only have 2 lands, but there we go. Problem solved. This is a nice curve here. All right, we trade Thought Erasure with Negate. I like that new Negate animation, by the way. Well, that Carney T is a problem, but we do have Kaya's Wrath for it. Okay, so he's pretty dependent on drawing cards here. So I think that for now we need to get rid of Fine Finality, right? God, these are all like huge threats. But I think getting rid of Vivian is always the key thing. I'm gonna get rid of this just because I need to ensure that I... Okay. We got the land, which is what I wanted, because now we're going to be able to counter the find. Not two of them, though. I need to find a Thought Erasure here. Okay. Okay, that's huge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Perfect.
I do hope you make this battle exciting. Little death never hurt anyone.
I know 88 will hone your prowess.
Super friends, boys! And with this, she cannot draw with Hydroid Crassus. So she has one Ross's Contempt, which she has to target. Yeah, she has to target her because he wants to draw. That's the power of this Planeswalker, man. I'm telling you. Oh, that's just one card draw, though. That's so fine. That's oh so fine.
Smelly, but effective.
No time for a break.
Whoo! There we go. Sure.
They were a lousy servant anyway.
What you got for me, Willis? What you got for me, Mr. Squid? All right. We got Danny DeVito, boys. We're fine. We have motherfucking Danny DeVito.
Pace.
Rise.
Chill. Chill, woman. Please. Relax. That's how you do it. GG. Oh, that was a hard-earned win. We took the L game one, but we came back, boys. Oh, that was sweet. So, in regards to Artifact, why did it flop? At the end of the day, people talk about the economy system, people talk about the marketing, people talk about like the fact that the stigma was generated around the game, and therefore it was already doomed from the beginning. And the reality is, and this took me a while to truly comprehend and understand, because it's easy to say this, but for me at least, it was harder to actually like realize it, right? To like understand why. But the reason why Artifact failed is because Artifact just wasn't a fun game. I was like, I competed in Artifact. Like I placed second in the first ever, like, you know, I was the guy that placed second in the first ever like public event, like the draft tournament that had like 128 players in it. Like, you know, Stan Sifka, fucking all the Hearthstone dudes, like everybody was there, right? And I made second in that tournament. I was really invested in Artifact, and I really wanted to compete in it and everything. And as a competitive game, it was very rewarding. Like I felt like, you know, I very rarely did I lose to like RNG, even though RNG losses still happen, right? But more like way less than in other card games, basically. So is this mono red? Regardless, we're gonna lead off with the search for Scandal first. the problem with Artifact is that unless you're tryharding at it, unless you're trying to be competitive, you're... Unless you're very invested in it as a game, like I said, competitively speaking, then you're not really... Wait, I can't take too long. I want him to spend his mana, basically, is what I want to do. This is a mind game we're playing right now. Ooh. He's gonna use Colossus. He knows I have a moment of craving. This guy knows I have a moment of craving. Like, he knows specifically that I have a moment of craving. I should just moment of craving this. Like, I tried to play mind games, but I did not expect him to have that, and for him to like. I need to stop the chain there. This guarantees that I will be able to flip Escanta at my next turn. I'll be able to play Liliana. So if he plays the Skargan Hellkite, I can go for the -4. I'm still taking a lot of damage. He's played around my moment of craving. Like that was like next level. Because if I have cast down, that line of play doesn't work. But he was like, oh fuck my life. All right. Gonna take my Thought Erasure. I'm gonna take away my Liliana. My sweet, sweet Liliana. Oh, or not. Okay. Okay, that makes more sense. That's actually much better. Wait. Okay. Yeah, and it also stops the Escanta from flipping. Just realized. Okay, so if I play Liliana now, he can play this and then just deal damage to me directly. So I actually have to... I gotta cry here. I gotta admit, this guy's playing pretty damn well. Right, down to 9 we go. This guy's playing a little bit too well. Like, he's making certain risky, he's making some risky plays.
My army will invent battle to the
Like, that was a risky play. What if I have a cast down, dude? But I guess he's playing to win.
Fine, I'll leave.
All right. That absorb is like a godsend to us. Well, shit. I probably should have gone for the Scanta instead of the Chemist's Insight. Ain't nobody got time for that. No, sir. Thank you. We need to watch out for Banefire.
Sorry, I've no time for a break.
This guy really is all about that niceness. At this point, I only lose to Banefire. So I have to, I gotta, you know, I consider myself on the clock. I'm putting myself in the worst position. He's trying to top deck Banefire to kill me. So I gotta get going. I gotta find my other Liliana and apply pressure.
Hold that thought.
I got a bunch of heal, but I need him to play stuff. I'm just gonna play an Eldritch Reborn. For two reasons. I'm assuming he has Banefire, and he's looking to top deck into it, so I need to apply pressure, and I also need to have a target to be able to use my healing effects onto, because he's not playing anything onto the board. And that's very suspicious. So, I need to create the targets. No hide Ferox incoming. Lava Coil, alright.
Hurry!
There's my girl.
If I were you, this looks like a fun new toy.
He's not giving up. That must mean he's main decking Banefire.
Keep up the pace.
Rise and shine.
All right. He's basically got one turn. I mean, I'm going for the Teferi ultimate anyways.
will phase you out of the time stream.
Good health is easy to find in war.
Now what? It's only a matter of time.
Five, 9, 11. That means he can do a 10 damage Bane Fire, which means that even if he does have a 10 damage Bane Fire, he cannot kill me because I can just counter it. GG. Took him a while. Alright. I don't think we need Narset here. I do like this Disdainful Stroke. D-Spark is also good. Moment of Craving as well. Hostage Staker too. Cry of the Carnarium. I don't think I need another copy of it, honestly. I think I'll take out Dovin's Veto. How do I reach these kids? How do I do this? I think Tooth Fairy is fine. It's also important to note that I may be on the draw and maybe less inclined, but Absorb is just so key here. Maybe one Thought Erasure. Because overall these... I mean, I'm also expecting him to bring maybe something like Cindervines. Okay, I'm actually taking one Ascanta out. I'm adding in a Cry of the Carnarium. I'm also taking one Thought Erasure out. Because I have a feeling that he's gonna play... He may play Cindervines, Enchantment Hay in general. I don't know. Maybe the Ascanta was a mistake. But, oof. Yeah, we gotta do this. Right, we do got the Cry. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Fucking Cindervines. There he is. Oh boy. No bueno. I want to deal with this, but I have to deal with that earlier. Come on, man. I need some lands here. I need a white source of mana. Por favor. Okay, that we can handle. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna take a little bit of extra damage, but I really I need to surveil. There it is. Ah, fuck. The Growth Chamber Guardian is a problem though, and I can always draw into another Thought Erasure. But this snowballs. No, it doesn't snowball as much. We need to get rid of the Bane Fire. Okay, there we go. We're getting low though. We're going low. We're getting lower than I want to be. I'm going down too low. I don't like that.
lived with animals my entire life. Explains
This is a
lot,
problem.
actually.
Unfortunately, if he top decks any sort of unit here, we're dead.
Busting heads is my bread and butter.
We are pretty dead. I mean, I predicted what he was gonna bring, but all right, good game. That completely shuts us down. We can't play anything, and he got his game 2, game 3. Okay. Let's see. I don't want these. These Ascanthus have all of a sudden become a liability. All right, here we go. Honestly, Cry the Carnarium is not nearly as good as it want to be, but I'm happy to see that he's bringing the Craw Harpooners. We're on the play now. We just need to not get mana screwed this game. Okay, this is good enough. Turn 1 Grave into turn 2 Thought Erasure. We got good AoE for the early portion of the game, and we need to draw into our other removal. I really don't like Cry here, though. Like, Cry is mediocre at best. At least Cry stops a Growth Chamber Guardian on curve, but that's pretty much it. Okay, I do like that Vraska. Stubble Mountain. Domri's annoying. I have an answer for Phoenix. Cindervines is... Domri's spooky, though. Domri's powerful. He could get mana screwed, though. If he doesn't draw into a forest soon, we could capitalize on that. This, we have the Ross's Contempt for. We can Cry this. I think it has to be Domri. I'm keeping the fairy there. Yeah, this guy does not seem like the friendliest fella. Alright. This can represent some damage, but as long as we handle his board. I'm still going to Fairy here.
I am not going to sit this one out. Let's skip to the good part. We need to move quickly.
Here comes the DJ. Here comes the DJ.
I'm sorry, dude, but I'm gonna mute you because you are annoying. You are quite annoying. It's like you were playing somebody in the shop and he's just like bitching about everything. Enough! Alright, let's go with this.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
It's not done yet, folks. Could have a land here. So I'm actually gonna counter this.
Enough.
I'm not gonna destroy that yet, because I do want to have this mortified just in case.
No time for a break.
We're gonna take this approach. We wanna, make sure, yeah.
Let's skip to the good part.
All right, good stuff. Slow and steady wins the race. What you got for me, Willis? We got an answer to planeswalkers. We got full control.
Hold that thought.
We have to make sure we don't die to Banefire, though. I'm working for the emblem.
Keep up the pace.
All right, this is it. This is his last turn to stop this. If he can't stop the emblem, then I win. He's probably like spouted like 15 nices at this point. He doesn't know he's muted. Or maybe he does. I don't know. There we go. It was probably a nice there. Attaboy, we got a number, boys. We did it. We started today's stream at like 90%. Yeah, 90%. So we've gone up quite a bit.